All right, chat. We are back. We are ready for the finale of Multithon Rivals 2025. Silksong 80%, no major glitches, played by SawaYoshi. Take us away.
All right.
Hello everyone.
We've had a few days of Multithon Rivals 2025, and to cap it off, we do have a race between SawaYoshi and their sleep deprivation. Everyone gets some sleep, folks. This is Hollow Knight Silksong, any percent, no major glitches. This is, I believe, the second ever marathon appearance of this game. I assume very many to come. This is going to be any percent NMG, where we beat the final boss, and that's going to be basically it. It's a little bit over an hour, so buckle up and get ready for the ride. We'll get started right away here as soon as I select Classic at the very top. Everyone, let's finish off strong. Starting in 3, 2, 1, go. This year, just about a month ago, I believe, let me do the math in my head, 41 days ago. And this game has been out for 41 days, and it's already had so many runners, pushing it down to sub-hour and beyond, myself one of those, being one of the few people that do have a sub-hour. I have a 5930 PB loadless. We'll see if we need that entire hour and 15-minute estimate today. We play as Hornet, one of the characters that was in Hollow Knight, if you remember that game. And we're going to get started here. Generally, we have movement left and right, we have our jump, and we have our attack, which can attack upwards, sideways, and downwards. Our downwards attack is this downwards thrust, which we will be using very often because it is slightly faster than walking. We'll be using it to make our way through here. We do also have the ability to bind as we get into this little staggering section here. We have the ability to bind, which you saw at the very beginning. We use our silk, which you can get one of with each needle swing. With each needle hit on an enemy, you get 1 silk, and once you get 9, you can use 9 to bind, which will heal 3 health all out once. You can also use the silk once we pick up a silk skill. To use silk skills, you need 4 per cast, so we'll be using that later on as well. As we get through the first area, we have Moss Grotto. We're going to be, you see all of these down slashes the entire time. Do a little bit of a down slash there just to get a little bit of extra distance. And we're going into our first boss fight. We have 4 health. We do have the ability to heal right before the boss, so we'll be doing that for sure. Just for safety. And it doesn't lose time, so why not? Welcome to the Moss Mother fight. This fight is pretty much solved. You want to send them to the left, or to the right rather. I accidentally sent them to the left, so I'm not used to this pattern, but we'll make do. There we go. Nice.
Always a sign of a good runner when they can adjust on the fly due to things in and out of their own control.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes these things do happen. Sometimes these things are things that you can't really control. This one I kind of just messed up, so it's completely fine. But that is the first fight done. We use all of our silk that we gathered during the fight to heal once more back to full health. This is the power of having 3 heals at once, is you just press the button and you're back to full health. This game is interesting because, again, you do just get back to full health when you heal, but you do have to use your entire bar of silk. So it's a little bit scary when you do because you can't use it for attacking, and you can't partially heal either. And if you get hit during the heal, you can heal on the ground or in the air, but if you get hit during the heal at all, it will cancel and take all of your silk. So that's a little bit scary, but hey, that's a trade-off for having such a strong heal. This game gets exponentially more difficult as the game goes on. And you'll be seeing that probably pretty soon. I don't remember where it starts getting kind of obvious that this game is difficult. I forgot to mention, this game is difficult. If you couldn't tell, it is the sequel to world-renowned indie Metroidvania Hollow Knight, and that game is known to be difficult. Silksong is known to be difficult even to Hollow Knight players like myself. Here we have a little skip here. We take this beast fly over to the right, lure them up, and get them to go at the right height, and we just kind of skip up here. This saves a pretty chunky amount of time, I believe just about a minute, maybe a bit more even. We see Chakra, who greets us with a Poshanka, and will greet us with parting words here. Kika, thank you. And we're gonna head back up through the marrow to this moss area. Forget what it's called in English, actually. Moss Village or something of the like. And we get our first skill of this run. Similar to Hollow Knight, we'll pick up our first cast. In Hollow Knight, it was the Vengeful Spirit. In Silksong, we'll see what that is very soon here. Usually, skills we pick up from these little monuments with weavers in the background. And here we pick up something known as the Silk Spear. We use 4 silk, again, 1 silk per needle hit, 4 silk to cast a spear that does 3 needle hits worth of damage. And how does that work? Like so. We'll be using this as our main damage source throughout the run. And once we've picked that up, we're heading straight to a boss fight once more. This one is a little bit interesting in a speedrun sense. Welcome to everyone's favorite character, the Bell Beast. Where this fight, we do have a quick kill that we can do. First off, we use our spear. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. That is needle hits worth of damage. 11, 12. We do 14 in the first phase. 13, 14, and then we go for a phase skip. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 25, 26, 27, 30. Perfect. If you can do exactly 30 needle hits worth of damage during that scream, you can skip the entire phase transition, which adds a more than 10-second attack. So if you can get this, it just saves 10 seconds. This is not something that you see in a casual playthrough because the damage management is very, very precise. You need all of the damage that you can get in the first phase, and then all the damage that you can get in the last attack and the phase transition to get this.
I did see some very specific movement and deciding when to and to not hit from that boss fight.
Mm-hmm. Movement in this game is also very difficult. If you haven't caught on yet, this game has inputs. This game has inputs. It does not quite have fighting game inputs, but it gets much, much closer than Hollow Knight did. And once we do that, we pick up the Silk Heart, which lets us regen 1 silk just by standing there. We're gonna go back to the main menu, go back in to skip a long waking up cutscene with level time to save upwards of, I believe, 5 seconds. And we see the Bell Beast. Hello, Bell Beast is our fast travel system in this game. We say hello, Bell Beast is very cute, and then we say goodbye and never say hi back again in this run, unfortunately. I do wish that we routed in the Bell Beast, but In this run, we say hi, we say goodbye, and then we never get to see her again, unfortunately. There are many characters in this game who are dog-coded, and the Bell Beast is one of them.
We love a good
Bell
dog.
Beast, we do love a good dog in this event here.
This event especially, yeah. We love our dog.
Especially, yeah. All right, and we're gonna make our way through the mirror. We have our new skill. Not really too useful for traversing, but much more helpful in combat, and this will make fights much faster as we get going here. Again, you see many of these downwards thrusts. It's just a bit faster than walking. We'll be doing these a little bit longer. Maybe give it 2-ish minutes of these before we get a little bit faster movement method. Seeing love in chat for the Belvies too. Belvies is my favorite character in this game, bar none. All right, and up here we do have a little skip here as well. Get this enemy over, pogo on them, and there we go. So let's just get up here a little bit faster than just going around. There's I believe there's just a lever that you can press to get up here. You can pull to get up here rather, but just a bit faster than that. Once we do that, this actually doesn't damage you unless you stand on it for too long, so we can just hop across and then hit this, and we are into the outskirts of an area that it called the Hunter's March. We were in the deep docks just now. And we have another little combat arena here. 4 health does not really matter. We need to do 6 hits worth of damage on each of these enemies. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 on each of these. 4 on each of these flying ones as well. 1, and then that's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 for Silk. Spear. Did not quite get that. Okay, that's fine. And that's the arena done. This arena is not super easy in terms of casual gameplay. There are much stronger arenas in Hunter's March that you see casually, but this is all we really see of Hunter's March in this run. Luckily, because a lot of it is very difficult. And now we say goodbye to our downwards thrusts. We do say goodbye to using them as we saw up to here, because we get our new little ability. We get our dash ability. I forget what it's called. It's called the something sprint, I believe. But that's for another time. Unlike Hollow Knight, where you have a dash that thrusts you forward a short distance, Hornet gains a sprint. A initial dash and a sprint, both of which are very fast, and both of which make you feel like you're speedrunning. Climb up here with this lever, and we just picked up our dash, and that lets us hit that lever and go into our boss fight. Shown in promo material, this is the lace fight. We want to get 11 hits to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Count for staggers, and then try to get her into the lava down below, because that does a lot of damage. But if not a big deal. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. A little low on health. Should be fine. Let me play a little bit safer. There we go. Finishing off with the parry. Very nice there. As the lace fight done, we'll be seeing a bit more of Lace in this run. Just give it another 45 minutes before we see more of her. Hit this lever. That'll activate this bell. We saw a similar one in the Marrow. And out of deep docks into far fields. This also gives us a bench, which is just really nice for healing. Generally, in casual playthroughs, it would take you anywhere between, let's say, 2 to 5 hours to get here. I've seen plenty of people take plenty of time getting here.
And it is taking you under 15 minutes.
Yeah, speedruns go kind of quickly. Okay. Now we're in here. go over this way. And we go to this little hut and pick up a quest from the seamstress. This game has a quest system where you pick up quests from various different NPCs and fulfill them, and that will give you progression items or non-progression items depending on the quest. This is a progression item that we'll be picking up here. We are told we need to pick up these flexile spines, so we'll be doing that. We need a total of 25, so we'll be doing that, getting them from these enemies here. There we go, pick those up from the ceiling. They're very well placed. Silk Spear, head out, come back in because they respawn on room transition, and get some more flexile spines. There we go. And that is all of those picked up. That was a really fast cycle, actually, for picking those up. Jeez. Save quit back to the bench that we saved at, back to the seamstress, and we churn in these 25 flexile spines, and the seamstress will upgrade our cloak. Upgrade our cloak. And if you saw the little gimmicks coming into this area, you might know what we are getting next. We are getting the Drifter's Cloak, which lets us hover. And this will give us the opportunity to use these updrafts that we've been seeing to kind of fly upwards. Alright.
I can't believe they turned Hornet into an umbrella.
Yeah. And here we have a little skip. Hi, boss. Bye, boss. Goodbye. That is the fourth chorus, and that is the fourth chorus skip. We do not fight this boss in this speedrun.
That is hilarious to see.
This was one of the first boss skips found in this run, and it saves, I believe, somewhere there. It saves around 1 minute to fighting the boss, but there's also like 5 variants of the skip that all save 1 minute over fighting the boss. There's also an insta-kill for the boss, but we do not need to do that in this run. We simply have to leave and head up through the far fields to get to our next little area. So in this game, in this run, we do have a little mini objective of we do have to pick up 5 shrines, 5 bell shrines of 5 that are available to us to reach the next little act, if you will, of this game. Please come up here. Thank you. There we go. Come up here. Use these updrafts. And we'll head up to Greymoor, which has another one of these spell shrines. Number 3 of 5 that we have to open up. That we have to activate to get into the next act of this game. Hello, we are into Greymoor. You'll also see me, I neglected to mention this, but using these down slashes into the ground and then dashing after that, because that's just slightly faster than just running. Alright, we have a little skip here. See if I can get this first try. Sometimes these enemies do not cooperate, but this time they're very, very nice. Thank you to the Craws. Sometimes they are not cooperative. This time they were very cooperative. Hit the spell, leave, come back. Because that skips a roughly, I believe, 20-second long cutscene. Alright. Now that that's done, we're going to head to the left, where we have more things to do. Mainly, we have more things to do by going left, mainly going left. Our goal here is to simply get to the next area. Into an arena here. 2 hits and a Silk Spear will take out these enemies. And here we get 2 swings, a Silk Spear. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We do have a dash strike, a dash swing, which lets us bounce upwards, and we'll be using that because it lets us get a couple swings pretty quickly. We're gonna head down, so use the Silk Spear, use our silk that we built up to break these walls. Head down, Gonna damage tank through that. Say goodbye to those enemies. Instantly come through here. Open up this trapdoor, go up, and we are into another boss fight. If you haven't caught on to the pattern, this game has a few boss fights. And the speedrun makes very quick work of many of them. Enter Moorwing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This fight is not easy. I did devise a strat that makes it a little bit nicer for speedruns. There we go. Stagger them right next to the wall and just kind of stick them there. Little steer around health, but yeah, we'll take that death. We'll go again. I do think we have a bench. Yeah, we do have a bench a little bit closer than if we just stayed at the seamstress. So just have to head back and do the fight again. Not a super big deal. We did already do the arena, so we don't have to do that again. All right. Again, on a little bit on the history of this very, very young game. So Hollow Knight Silksong, released on September 4th, 2025. Just about how long was it? Let me do the math again. 39 days. Excuse me. I said 41 earlier. It's 39 days. Not gonna do the damage tank here this time. So pretty recent, if I do say so myself. But already, within the first week of the game being out, there were already people speedrunning it any percent. And then within the first 2 weeks, people were starting to say sub-hour when. And there were, I believe, somewhere around 5 people all within shooting range of that sub-hour. Of course, Nebula, one of the top Hollow Knight speedrunners as well, was the first to reach that milestone. With a unbelievable 5850, by the way. First ever sub-hour. There we go, that's the Moorwing fight. And then multiple people followed in Nebula's steps, getting 59s, 58s, even 57s. I believe world record right now is a low 56, and people are going for 55-minute runs loadless. Even world record, even with loads, is under an hour. I don't think we'll be seeing a sub-hour today, though. Just a little secret between us. Okay, sit on this bench, and we leave Haunted Bellheart for later. We will not be seeing this Bellheart haunted much longer. Okay, I'll head into the next area, which is Shellwood. A little bit of a convoluted first room. We do have to climb up here. Oops. Climb up here. Play it a little safe. Go up, over this way. Do a little quirky little pogo up here. Whoop. Then head into another arena. If you haven't noticed the pattern, there's quite a few arenas in this game as well. 1, 2, 1, 2, and a Silk Spear will take out all of these enemies. 1, 2, 1, 2, and then spear that enemy. Very nice, that was clean. We're gonna head out to the left and head on our merry way through Shellwood. Shellwood it's a pretty large area. It has a few little attractions to it. One of them being the Sister Splinter boss fight, which is, I think it's a really cool boss fight. Many people said it's too hard. Many people said it's far too difficult. And in a speedrun, it takes quite a long time. So what do? We just skip it. You'll see how we do that very, very shortly here. 1, 2, 1, 2, climb up, climb up, climb up. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is all intended platforming. What's coming up is not intended platforming. Gonna head over to the right side of this open room. I'm up here. Use our taunt bind to get this enemy over here. Lure them over. wait a little bit. They're going to go back up. Then we can use them to skip up. This skips the Sinister Splinter boss fight and saves, I believe, around 2 minutes. Get some silk, and we do another skip here. This one saves significantly less time, but looks cooler. I can get it. Unfortunate. We'll just go around this way then. Whoop! Please. Not a big deal. We'll just go again. We do have the bench in Belheart, and we have a shortcut open, which is for later, but very useful here as well. Alright, head over back through Shellwood. And this door open means we do not have to go through the long room again. We do not have to do the arena. We do not have to go up and around. Just say hi to Chakra and go to the left. Go to the left, climb up. 1, 2, 1, 2, up, 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 up. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're already back to the big room. The big open area. Look at this enemy again. You have to see the skip again. They will. It seems like they will respond to any sound source. So you just have to slash the wall or use your taunt bind to lure them over. Funnily enough, the taunt bind actually gives, if you it uses 1 silk, if you have any, and if you do use a silk, you get 50% more damage on your next needle swing. We can get this here. That looks much better. There we go. Use our heal to stall and get hit over that ledge. Not an easy skip. I actually just learned that this morning. Saves roughly 10 seconds if you get it. And it looks cool. So why not do it? You know? And now that we've done those skips, we no longer have a need for those skips because we have picked up our claw ability, which lets us cling onto walls and climb them. So we'll be using that for our vertical movement for the rest of this run. All right, head over this way. We're gonna head back over to Belheart. So we're gonna enter from the top of the area through this little bell maze here. One, 2, 3 slashes. Come down this way. Take a damage tank, and get hit by the enemy as you do. No, one of those damage tanks is intentional to get through the enemy much quicker, and to get through the area much quicker. That second one was a little bit unintentional. We do have a boss fight after that, and if you haven't noticed, a lot of these enemies are starting to do 2 damage. You saw the little flower enemy that we skipped off earlier doing 2 damage. You see these spell enemies doing 2 damage. And a lot of the bosses also doing 2 damage after this, so... This game has very many 2 damage bosses and enemies that we'll have to look out for. There we go. Very nice cocoon location. Cocoons give us our money back in the... It gives us our rosaries back and gives us full silk. A full spool's worth of silk. And we are into one of the coolest fights in this game with the coolest music. This is the Widow fight. Widow is very fast and very erratic and sends down bells to attack us. So we'll be using our swings, we'll be using our silk spear, and that is the first phase done. And into phase 2. Phase 2 is even more erratic than before. More bells, more chaotic. Let's see if she'll do this attack. You can parry this. You can parry that attack and just kind of not take damage, which I think is really cool. And that is the fight done. That is Widow. And Widow will give us another ability. And Widow was also the one keeping Belheart enshrined. So we have inadvertently saved Belheart.
Would you say that fight had lots of bells and whistles?
It certainly did. It certainly had bells. It had bells and violins. How about? All right. And we pick up our Needle-In ability, and we get sent into a dream platforming segment again. The Needle-In is what we would like to call in the Hollow Knight community a dream nail. And you'll see it lets us go. You go into memories as such. It also lets us open these doors. It is the song part of Silksong, and we'll be using it plenty. It is required to get into Act 2 and to beat the game, if we're talking about NMG. There are plenty of glitched runs and routes and that do not need the Needle-In because the game just kind of gives it to us where it's needed. But yeah, now that we've picked it up and we've interacted with this little orb, we have roughly a minute of cutscenes. Hopop, if we have anything to mention, now is a great time to do so.
Not too much, but I say, as this is our finale segment for Multithon Rebels 2025, I will remind people about our usual annual spring segment that'll be coming up this year, and exact dates to be coming, but it should be sometime around the spring. As usual, we will be raising money for Blue Path service dogs at that time, which is our usual goal of $5,000. So if anyone likes to, please hang around after Multithon Rivals ends until spring for Multithon 2026 event. That would be wonderful. You can help us raise money for the dogs.
For the dogs. The dogs are amazing. The service dogs and just in general are amazing, and Multithon does a great job with this charity and raising money for a very, very good cause. So if you like this marathon and if you like charity marathons, definitely follow this Multithon account and watch out for that spring event. A lot of fun. All right. Now that we've gotten the Needle-In, defeated Widow, and saved Belheart, we're going to go down into the city of Belheart, which has no longer haunted by strings. We're going to go up. We're going to go up over here, open our menu to get rid of the area text. And we say hi to Prinny, who gives us a needle upgrade. This game has up to, I believe, 4 needle upgrades, and each one past the first requires pill oil. The first one is completely free of charge and gives us roughly 1.8 times damage on our needle. So we will absolutely be getting this. It's just a cutscene's worth of time lost, so absolutely worth it, especially considering our silk spells also, or silk skills rather, also scale off of our needle damage, unlike Hollow Knight. So in this run, every single damage source is based off of our needle damage, so definitely be taking that upgrade. Oddly enough, many of the enemies in this game do have damage reduction values. Anything from even negative, like 2 times multipliers on damage to, I believe with the needle upgrades, they can go up to around 0.5 times half damage. So they can be pretty drastic. But generally, it is just more damage, so we'll be taking that for sure. We're going to open this Bell Shrine. Do not need to save there. This is 4 of 5 Bell Shrines that we... I believe that this is actually 5 of 5 because Belheart also counts as 1, just for beating Widow. And we're heading into the last area of the first half of the game, into the Blasted Steppes. This area is going to go very, very quickly. There's going to be many, many skips, so keep your eyes peeled. First one coming up right here. This is why we need full silk. Jump, heal, dash, heal, hover. Didn't quite make it. We'll try one more time. We can get some silk off of this enemy. We don't really care about taking damage because we're going to heal it back anyways with the skip. Whoop. This is still faster than going around. Heal. There we go.
Very nice getting it the second time.
Yep. Skips aren't over though. We have one more very, very difficult skip with a nice backup. So we'll see if we can get this first try. Come up here, climb up. Don't get hit by this enemy, they do 2 damage. There you go, perfect. That is a very, very tight jump. And I have not been hitting that in runs, so very, very glad that I got that first try here. Jump up this way, up this way. Last steps isn't quite over. We have a little bit more platforming, and then one final boss fight to cap off Act 1 of this game. Hollow Knight Silksong being split into acts. In this run, we'll be seeing Act 1, which is the area, which is Farloom, the larger kingdom, and the Citadel of Song, which is the area above here, where the higher shells of this kingdom live. We have this grand gate here, which will only activate if we've gotten all 5 bell shrines in Farloom, as well as picked up the Needle-In and play our Needle-In to activate the door. However, we have one last challenge before we open this gate. This is the last judge. We'll throw this weapon at us, so dodge these attacks the best we can while doing as much damage as possible. Take a safety heal. And we're into phase 2, where her attacks now have fire on them. Have a little fire enchant on them, so every attack will also have a fire addition to it, as well as she gains an extra attack. You saw it right there, the dashing forward. This attack does not exist in the first phase, does exist in the second, and is definitely an issue. Okay, into phase 3. Phase 3 is no different from phase 2. However, there is this attack at the phase transition, which is 4 entire heat wave attacks, and that is the fight done. Very, very nice, honestly, even with the heal. Be very, very careful. This explosion will hit you and do 3 damage. Be very, very careful not to hit that. I have seen so many people on their first playthroughs get hit by that and take a death here. But everyone, that is Act 1 complete, and we are halfway through the run. We still have half an hour of Silksong left to get through. And honestly, I'm starting to feel a little sleepy, so I'm going to try to blast through it as quickly as I can. Alright. Yeah, it is becoming very much nighttime over in the States. I believe 2:30 a.m. Eastern, so hopefully people can stay up to watch the end of this run and the finale segment with everyone at Multithon. Alright. Very few people know you can actually break this wall and skip the entirety of Underworks. This would have been very nice to know in a casual playthrough. And we are already into the chamber, the coral chambers. The Underworks is an area that is very, very difficult, and also has many enemies that do 2 damage, many enemies that just kind of annoying in terms of flying or throwing things at you, so it's very nice that we do not have to worry about that, excuse me, in this speedrun. Into the Citadel of Song, we say hello one more time to Lace. Hello, Lace is going to give us a little bit of a lecture on what's happening in this kingdom, and Lace says, hey, you probably shouldn't be doing this, don't mess with us. We're gonna mess with them. So this is into the main part of the Citadel of Song. We have these bells that we can climb up. We have these enemies that will fly at us. I love the music in this area. Gosh, I also love the movement in this area. There is a lot of dashing, a lot of very precise jumps, and wall climbs that you can do. Pressing dash while clinging onto a wall will give you a wall climb that kind of just runs up the wall a tiny bit. If you don't need a full wall jumps height, it's much faster to do one of these. I'm seeing a lot of this movement in this area here. And we're just going to skip the platforms, head up here, and we're already into the next boss fight, which is the Cogwork Dancers. Oh, also I forgot to mention, our Pogo gives us iframes, so we'll be using that to kind of just phase through those enemies here. Into a lot of people's favorite boss fight. This is the Cogwork Dancers, where there are 3 phases to the fight, and I'll introduce them as we go through them. One thing very important to mention is that the left and right dancers have separate health pools, so you need to be very careful of that when doing the fight. There we go. That's the first phase done. You saw I only hit 1 Cogwork Dancer there. The second phase is the exact same as the first, except a little bit different patterns. And they're also a little bit faster. Exclusively one of them, and that is the second phase done. The third phase is much more frantic, and has each one acting out of sync with each other. Again, hit specifically one of them, focus target one, and kind of ignore the other, and that is the fight pretty much done. That is phase 3. Here's 1 Cogwork Dancer left. They're known as the Dancers. Unfortunately, 1 dancer alone does not pose very much of a threat as long as I don't run into them. Let's see. There we go. That's the fight done. That is the Cogwork Dancers, and this gives us access to much more of this area, as well as just being a cool fight. It also gives us an update to our main quest. Our main quest line, which tells us we now need to, now that we've gotten into the Citadel Song, we've gotten the 5 Battle Shrines, gotten into Act 2, gotten into the Citadel, we now need 3 melodies. We need the Architect's melody, we need the Vault Keeper's melody, and we need the Conductor's melody. Each of which are located in different areas of the Citadel. We'll be picking up those. We'll be going to pick those up first. First of which will be the Vault Keeper's melody, very soon here. Into the Cogwork core, a lot of platforming here. These cogs used to do 2 damage, but in newer versions they only do 1. Very nice QOL change. Ow. They do still hazard respawn you, so need to be careful going through here. Especially given you do not gain Silk at all in this area. There's just no enemy. There's just not very many enemies in this area, so be very careful with health management. There we go. Hit this cog 3 times, and we're into the. If we can actually not hit that, that will rotate this little cog in the middle, giant cog in the middle, 90 degrees, and change the passageway being open either vertically or horizontally. So we need to not hit that. And we're going into a new area. Before we get into the new area, we have 1 little arena here. We have a bunch of enemies. This one, I've pretty much solved. 1, 2, 3. Use our spear. 4. Use that spear there. 1, 2, 1. That gives us enough silk. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Use that spear. There we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Use that spear. It's gonna hit that. 1. We have 2 health, so we'll play a little bit safe here. We're definitely gonna heal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and heal. Again, that acrobatic heal just gives us 3 health back, so you can really just use it anywhere and kind of get away with it. This gives us access to the Whispering Vaults, which is the area we'll need to be in for our first of the 3 melodies. Dodge, you please don't run at me. And farther into this area we go. Through here, go down, go left. Do more of these pogo cancels. Pogo cancel dashes. Climb up here. Use our wall climb just so that we can stay right up against the wall. We can pick up this little quill here, which lets us mark in our map. If we do not have the quill by this point, we can pick up a quill here. Usually we buy one from Chakra. But we kind of just didn't do that this time. And we are into a lot of people's favorite fight once again. This is the magnificent Trobio! Very annoying in speedruns. Because he can kind of just go underground and not give you a chance to attack. And also, a lot of his attacks do 2 damage, so you need to be very careful of those. Use our spear, just so that we don't waste our silk. Going back down underground. Those exploding balls also do 2 damage, so you need to be very careful. Going underground. We have probably one or two more hits before stagger. Yep, there it is. I love this fight. It's just so flashy. I have the screen shake turned down, and you can still very much tell that the screen is shaking. I love this fight so much. It's just so flashy. Very much reflects his personality well. And nope. It's just one more nail hit. Or needle hit. I think the fight's done. Robio has one last Robio in him. These fires actually will not hit you. And he drops an item called the Claw Mirror. Not needed. A little bit of a safety item. Makes it so that we do damage when we bind, which is this game's version of focusing our heal. Alright. There we go. Open this gate to the left, send the elevator up, go into the underworks, which I mentioned we entirely skipped earlier. We're going into it from the right side, which gives us access to a very nice ability that we're going to be picking up on our way through this area. There we go. There's a bench there. We do not have to sit on it. It is a bit of a safety bench. Go through this lava area, which I think this movement is pretty cool. You do have to wait for the cycles sometimes, but I really like this movement. It's just cool. And we have a little tiny skip here, climbing up the left side instead of going right and around. Go up here. One more little platforming segment before we pick up our next skill, which is going to let us traverse across these rings that we saw earlier in this room. This is the claw line ability, our grappling hook, if you will, that lets us move sideways. See someone chat saying, love the fast movement in this game. This game's movement is very fast and it's very fast paced, very much speedrun adjacent, even when you're playing casually. Get this one more time. I got knocked out of it by that enemy there. There we go. Go this way, go this way. Grab onto this ring. And I'll go into this arena here. Didn't have enough silk there. There we go. These enemies, when they explode, they do 2 damage, so we're going to use our claw line to hit them. Use our silk spear there, doing 3 needle hits worth of damage. There we go. Take the big guy out, and if we can get good RNG here, we can kind of just use this enemy to take out the one on the left. This is faster than going left and then right. Alright, now that we've done that, we can leave back through the way we came. 1, 2. Use our claw line to clang off those spikes there. There we go. Clean so far. I'm across here. And everyone loves a nice underplat. We're gonna go under this platform. Go this way. Climb up. We do have to wait for cycles here for the exhaust organ to give us favorable exhausts. Get through. We're gonna take a little safety bench here. This is very, very conveniently placed. Only a few seconds lost there. Pick up our sacred cylinder. Oops. Sacred cylinder, which contains our first melody, the Vault Keeper's melody that we have to learn. First of 3. Again, that is the Architect's melody, the Vault Keeper's melody, and the Conductor's melody, of which one is much, much more annoying than the others. We'll get to that very shortly. Hit this block to the right. Takes out one of those enemies very, very nicely. It does not matter. We're going to head over here to the Vault Keeper. Vault Keeper carding us and gives this cylinder. And now we can play it in this little gramophone that they have. And then learn the melody. And that is 1 of 3. Play our needle into it. Take a drink of water real quick. I've been talking for 50 minutes straight. And there we go. That is the Vault Keeper's melody. Learn. 1 of 3. The next one's very quick after this. And this is, I think, the coolest part of the run. We're coming up here. I'm gonna head back over to the left. Hit this block. Grapple over that. We're gonna go back into the Cogwork core, which we saw a glimpse of earlier. And this time we're gonna go climb up the Cogwork core. Oops, ow. 2 health, 2 health is fine. These cogs only do 1 damage. They used to do 2. They were nerfed in an update to only do 1 damage. Gonna head up. And I know a few people that have struggled with this platforming in casual playthroughs, but in a speedrun, it is so cool just seeing this movement. This is my favorite room in the game, probably. See if I can't get this perfect first try. Use our claw line to climb up. Pogo off of these. Claw line. Hover just to get the right height. 2, 3, 4, 5. Get a little bit of silk, just so that we can do some very fast-paced platforming here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Very clean. 1 more claw line here. 1, 2. Grab onto this ring. 1, 2 more pogos. And that is that room perfectly done. Platforming doesn't stop here. We also have to solve this little puzzle. We know the solution. 1, 2, 0, 1. 3, 3, 0, 1, 3, 0, 1, 1. 3, 0, 1, 0, I believe. And then 3, 3, 1, 2. And that's the puzzle done. Go back down. Go back up. We press, we do not have the right combination here, actually. That's fine. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. That should be it. Always check your solutions. Always check your answers before turning in your math test. And that is this second melody done. This is the this is not the conductors. This is the architect's melody. Number 2 of 3 that we have to learn. We're gonna play the needle in here 1 more time. Oh, Bob, what do you think about the run so far? What do you think about Hollow Knight Silksong?
That last room where you were navigating around all the cogs was absolutely great to watch. Clear, very good indication of skill and knowledge.
Yeah.
But it's definitely been great to see you as someone who has literally not played Hollow Knight or Silksong at all.
Yeah. This game's fun.
Yeah.
You should play it.
I've been told that many times.
Oops. Let me see if I can't get this here then. There we go. 1 health. Completely fine. Not worried at all. We're gonna go down here and we're gonna take a safety bench here. Safety bench, but also known as we do have to put on our little tool that we picked up earlier, our equipment. We do pick up the claw mirror. Again, lets us do damage with our heal in an AoE effect. But yeah, Hollow Knight Silksong is a lot of movement, a lot of combat, a lot of just skill-based gameplay, all grouped into one big package, one big speedrunner's dream. It's an amazing game, especially if you've played through Hollow Knight before. I will say it is not easy even in a casual playthrough, so definitely need to be somewhat prepared before going into this game. All right, and we're into the high halls. If you know anything about Silksong speedrunning, you hear the words high halls and you're like, oh no. And that oh no is very correct. We'll get to that very soon here. I do like this movement though, up the high halls. We have more movement, this time going downwards. Gonna grab onto each of these rings. Boom, there we go. Grab onto each of these. This will open the passage to go to the next little segment. Down here, one more ring to grab. No hovering whatsoever needed. And everyone's favorite arena, it is time for the High Halls arena. Everyone get your bless emotes to bless the run because we're going to need it. This is the hardest arena in this run, the hardest combat, the hardest section of this run by a pretty long shot. And I don't think very many runners would argue that. Absolute run killer one going for PBs. I don't know how many runs I've lost to this arena alone. Ow. Yeah, 2. Ow. Play it a little bit safe. Not quite having enough for heal. There we go. Heal there. Use our Probio Bomber. Use our Silk Spear for damage. These enemies right here will steal our silk, but that's honestly not a very big issue when we can get plenty of silk at a much faster rate than they can steal it from us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These enemies can be a little bit annoying because they spawn these little ads that kind of just chase after you and just have actually quite a bit of health. Especially in a speedrun context where you want to be doing as much damage as quickly as possible to the main enemy. Into the Coral Clapper, which has unbelievably high health for an arena enemy. Oops. Play it safe. There we go. 1, 2. Use our mirror. Heal, because this is not the end of the arena. This is about halfway through. We still have plenty more High Halls arena to get through. Take out that enemy. Take out those. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice parries. Use our spear to get those enemies down. 1, 2. Spear that. There we go. It's going to be one of these enemies right here, so we're going to heal. Probio. Use our claw mirror. Do plenty of damage. Take out that enemy. And this enemy is left. Claw line into them. And try to get pogos just so that we can kind of conserve our silk, because you saw that Coral Clapper, we have 2 of them now. And they will both attack you simultaneously and kind of give you impossible patterns every once in a while. So you need to play a little bit safe. Especially in a marathon setting such as this. And their attacks all do 2 damage. Except for the orb spawn attack. This one. There we go. Everyone, that is High Halls Arena first try. I will be completely honest, I did not expect to get this first try in a marathon setting, but you know, I guess it happens sometimes.
Well done on that.
Yeah. And now we come to the left and talk to the conductor, who will give us the conductor's melody number 3 of 3, and then we'll be heading straight to the final bosses of this run. Everyone, we are in the final stretch of Multithon Rivals 2025. We have 2 more fights, and that's it. And then we have the finale with Multithon staff. Save quit back to the bench that we got in Cogwork Core. We don't have any menuing to do here. We simply come back and go up this elevator right here. And this is a roughly minute-long cutscene again. So Hopop, if there's anything to mention before we get into the final 2 fights, before we get into the finale segment, now is basically the last time to get any words in.
I will say thank you, everyone. As we'll probably repeat in this finale, but thank you everyone who has been watching, running, volunteering for Multithon Rivals 2025. Hope to see many of you back again for Multithon 2026 in the spring. It's going to be another wonderful time, as always, when it comes to Multithon. This has been a wonderful event, despite its ups and downs.
Absolutely. I haven't been able to stick around too much for the event, but I've heard very good things about what's been going on here. I did get to see the Blood on the Clock Tower segment earlier, and that was an absolute blast to watch. Speed gaming through those.
I'm definitely biased, but towards Clock Tower, but one of my favorites as well.
Mm-hmm. All right. Now that we've played those melodies, that unlocks this middle elevator, and we are into the Lace 2 fight. Much faster, much more damage, much more 2 damage attacks. You saw that one. Would have been 1 damage earlier, but in this final segment of the game, we'll simply just do 2 damage. Use our Clawmere to heal there, heal back to full. We have 2 health. You cannot feel safe at 2 health. We are very much within 1 hit range. We're gonna heal. Clawmere is not gonna hit. That's completely fine. 1, 2. Gonna come back down with that. 2 health. You cannot feel safe at 2 health. But this should be the end of the fight. Nope. A little bit more. That is the end of the fight. Okay. A little bit risky. 2 health for plenty of time in that. And again, 2 health is within 1 hit range for this game. Hollow Knight Silksong. 2 damage enemies everywhere, especially in boss fights. We see another one of these little memory segments that we saw at the very beginning of the game with the Bell Beast. This one is a little bit more difficult platforming. Definitely expects you to have abilities to get up here. Anyone that's watching this and has not played Silksong, please do. This game is amazing. I cannot in good faith recommend it for everyone. It is very, very difficult, but if you like difficult gameplay, if you like Metroidvanias, if you like indie Metroidvanias, if you liked Hollow Knight, you will almost certainly enjoy Hollow Knight Silksong. If you haven't played it, please do. I believe it's roughly $20 on every storefront, on Steam, on GOG, on Xbox, PS4, PS5, Switch 2. I did not want to do that. Get it and play it. There's so much that I haven't gotten to show you all today, and you all need to experience this game for yourself. Don't let sleep deprived Sawa sell you on this game. Let the game sell you on the game. All right. With that, we are into the cradle, the last major area of this game, of this run at the very least. Over here, climb up, and everyone, it is time for the final boss. Get your good lucks, get your bless emotes, get your holidays, get your silphies. We're gonna be out of here in 2 minutes. This is the final boss of Hollow Knight Silksong. This is Grandmother Silk. Our dash will reset our needle cooldown, so we'll be using that very, very often in this fight, just to get a little bit of extra damage in. We're gonna use our Trobio heal just to get a little bit of extra damage in while playing it safe. Use our spears just to do some damage. Use that, and that should be that phase done. Very clean. You saw I was in the air for a very long time in that fight. Claw line and that down slash, very much conducive to that. But that's not it. These rocks will hit you for 2 damage, and every attack that Silk does, except for one, will do 2 damage. That one attack will do 3, so you have to be very, very careful. Use that spear. Use that claw line to dodge these attacks. Use the claw line there. Grab on. That's gonna get hit. That's fine. Again, 2 health, very much within one shot range, so you can be very careful. This attack will do 3 damage, so if you get hit, you're gonna get sent into a cutscene and take 3 damage there. I could heal, or I could play it risky. You know what? Let's play it risky. This is the last run of the event. 1 health, not scared at all. Maybe a little bit scared. And that is that fight done. Time is going to be on the fade, on the burst to white after this. We're going to bind, we're going to bind, we're going to bind Grandmother Silk, bind over and over and over. We're going to absorb Silk's power and become the ruler of Farloom. Everyone, this has been Hollow Knight Silksong, any percent NMG by SawaYoshi, and that is time.
Bravo. Whoa. That final boss. Whew. Indeed.
I am a little bit winded, I'll be completely honest. This run is a lot of fun, and I bet you this run is going to be in multiple different marathons, so many different marathons from here on out. I'm glad to have been able to share this with you all at Multithon Rivals 2025, so soon after the game launched. I was actually approached by a Happy by 3 asking, "Hey, won't you submit Hollow Knight Silksong to Multithon Rivals?" And I said, absolutely. And I submitted it, it got in, and here we are. I'm glad that I got to show it to you. I'm glad I got to finish off this event with y'all. Thank y'all for watching. Big shoutouts, of course, to the Hollow Knight speedrun community, the Silksong speedrun community. Everyone in there, very, very dedicated and grinding out strats, grinding out PVs and world records all the time. Silksong is eventually going to get down to a sub 55 for sure, if it hasn't already, because I know some people have been streaming it. Shoutouts, of course, as well to the to Japanese speedrunners everywhere, and AAPI and other marginalized speedrunners. As a Japanese runner myself, I cannot stress enough how much Japanese speedrunning communities have impacted me and been very helpful in my journey. Thank you all, and yeah. Oh yeah, shoutouts to Frame Fatale's very cool community. Shouts to Binary Breakers, very cool community. There's so many communities that I can't list them all. Shoutouts, of course, to the Multithon community, everyone here, and to the staff, the volunteers, the runners, the commentators, everyone that's helping with this event, everyone watching. Thank you all. If you want more SawaYoshi, I stream on Twitch, I upload to YouTube, I'm on Blue Sky, and for some godforsaken reason, I'm still on Twitter if you prefer that. And yeah, also, you also come watch the English speedrun restreams. We do some cool stuff for non-English events. yeah, that's about it from me. Thank you all for watching. This has been Hollow Knight Silksong.
Thank you, SawaYoshi. We'll be right back in a few short moments for our ending ceremony, whatever we're calling it, with Happy, maybe some other stuff. So please stay tuned for the closing remarks from Happy and others.